Do you want to be featured on KG School?
KG School.
God, people are looking outside. मेरे को शर्म आ रही है.
जिसका है शर्म उसका फूटे करम. What?
रुको बाजू वाला देख रहा है. Okay, hello to all the new and old viewers. Very odd setup for the video today. I've been very busy because it's Ganesh Chaturthi. So I thought since my father is driving me around, say hello.
Hello.
So since he's driving me around, I thought I will make a quick video. Stuck in Mumbai traffic. Let's get to the point. Tomorrow is my mother's birthday. I was really lazy. I did not want to draw anything. I did not want to color anything. I did not want to stamp anything. So what I did is I went in my stash and I pulled out the most old set of papers and old set of embellishments and made a card. I'll tell you the recipe to the quickest card ever. I know I made a timer card, but this was quicker than the timer card. Get pretty paper, get chipboard, get flowers, embellishments, and you're done. Stickers maybe, add on. Makes it even prettier. It's a very easy peasy card. It's a very girly card. It's a very mummy card. It's a very maternal card where, like, you can give it for Teachers' Day. You can give it for like congratulations. You can give it as a thank you card. You can give it as a wedding invitation if you're getting married. Stay tuned and watch the video if you really like it, and follow KG School on Instagram to know more about KG School at kg.school. You can follow us on Facebook, Bad Roads. If you want to know more about my father, he's not on Instagram. Follow me, don't follow my father. And if you want to see more such videos where I'm like traveling, let me know. Baju wala uncle dekh rahe. He's like, what is this girl doing? Okay, bye!
To create the base of the card today, I have used this A4 sized cardstock in the color fuchsia pink. I am just scoring it in the middle and folding it into half here. For my panel, I am going to use a printed paper today by Creative Scrapbooking by Eno Greetings, and the name of this paper pack is Sweet Life. It's a very floral themed paper pack, and I'm going to use this paper today. I also pulled out this chipboard frame by Little Birdie called Whimsy Frame. I'm going to create a window card, and this is going to be the frame of it. I'm just tracing the inner circle so that I can cut it out. I usually try and make straight lines across the diameter of the circle and then cut it out in bits. If you have a circular punch or a circular die, then you can use that. Since I don't have a die cutting machine, I am using this technique and it works perfectly fine for me. And even if you don't get a plain nice edge, that is fine because the frame is going to come over the edges. To create the background of that window, I wanted to make it very sparkly and glittery. So I am using these sparkle dots by Craftbug, which I bought from Itsy Bitsy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glue. Over here I'm using multi-medium matte and create a layer. You can use your hands. I'm using a plastic spatula here. And then the next step is to sprinkle all of those sparkle dots over this. This can be a little messy and you'll see that I'm going to create a huge mess out of this. But as you go with your fingers and rub in, it creates this beautiful mirror and glittery kind of an effect. And there you see all my glitter is everywhere. Now I'm sticking some foam tape to stick that background behind the window that I have created. Always remember, after you apply the glitter, you can dust off the excess and then store it back again. Though I created a mess, you're going to see that I'm going to use those glitters again. Now I'm going to agree that I forgot about the acetate sheet altogether. I'm using this acetate from some packaging that I received. But the frame is going to save my day because I am going to sandwich my acetate sheet between the panel and that chipboard paper. There you can see I used a little of that glitter that I had wasted. I'm adhering my acetate as well as my frame using multimedia matte because it's a very strong adhesive. If you see some of it seeping through that frame, you can always go back and soak it in your paper towel. Now I have just written my sentiment on a plain white cardstock and I'm creating a fishtail, and I'm going to stick this on that window, in the middle of the window. So since there's a little gap in between, I have put foam tape in the center and multimedia matte again on the edges so that my sentiment doesn't sink in. Now these are really old flower embellishments which I had in my stack, and I had never used them. I'm going to attach this on the left bottom corner of my card using liquid glue. I'm going to chip off all of those stems because I don't need it. But if it suits your design, you can always keep it. Now I'm trying to make a cluster, and I'm going to try and have that little dragonfly hover over those flowers. Also, I'm going to attach the glue only to the center body of the dragon flower because I want those wings to appear in the air, or if that makes any sense. Again, utilizing those old pearl self-adhesive stickers, I am creating little details here and there, and I'm really happy I could utilize all those old embellishments from my stash. Now I'm attaching the panel using some foam tape to give it a little more dimension, and the card is ready. This was super easy and I was really happy I could use a lot of old things. Now you're gonna see a few of the close-up shots of my card. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. You can also follow Catchy School on Instagram as well as Facebook at catchy.school. Be happy, be positive, bye!